I'm a 1K manager from Johannesburg, South Africa. I've just come down to Durban to come and meet our team here in Durban and to share the opportunity with their guests over here. It was really an incredible event. It was an opportunity for me to connect with them and also to share with them the future goals that we have for this year on how they can expand Triple M in Durban. Share with them the ideas of us opening opportunity centers to truly be able to empower people and give people an opportunity to really reach their financial goals and to be able to live the way human beings should be able to live. So it was a pleasure coming down here, come and meet the team. I'm sure I'm going to be here a lot, spend a lot of time with the team here in Durban and grow the Triple M community as much as we can and share this incredible opportunity. You know, if it wasn't for Sergio Mavrodi taking all the risks and all the chances that he did, and as determined as he was to be able to grow Triple M, we wouldn't have this incredible opportunity that he's saving over 500,000 lives in South Africa today. And I'm sure by the end of the year it will exceed over 2 million people's lives that are changing. And we owe it to him to be able to share that opportunity with people and to continue to grow and share this Triple M opportunity with people and free more people from financial slavery. So as he always says, together we can change the world, and we're busy doing it right now, one person at a time. So I'm really excited to be part of this. Thank you.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a beamer, and that's exactly what this man is all about. He's our wonderful, our mentor, and he's going to show you exactly how you can change your life. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to Mr. Byron Ditburner, all the way from Johannesburg, ladies and gentlemen. Please give him a round of applause.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Byron Ditburner. Today I have the pleasure of sharing with you this incredible opportunity of Triple M, right? I'm going to start off by sharing why I joined Triple M. You know, my life's journey has been quite interesting. When I was younger, it was rough. My father died when I was 10 years old, and then later on in life my mom went to America. I was basically alone from the age of about 16 years old, and I survived by selling toys door to door. It was interesting. It made me strong, you know. And what drove me is that I wanted to be successful really, really badly, and I never had considerations of whether I had money or never had money or what it was. I was just having fun with life, you know, going out there every day, buying toys door to door. I remember the first product I ever bought was flasks. I went out and bought a whole bunch of flasks and went out door to door and sold the flasks. Some days I made $500, $600. It was incredible, a lot of fun. I stayed in a flat with 10 guys and we just had a blast, you know. Where other people would think those circumstances were terrible, we just looked at it as an opportunity for us to grow. I eventually got a job much later on when I was in my early 20s at a company called Pro Range Golf, where I was a golf consultant, right? Didn't know a damn thing about golf, but I learned in the process. And I started working with this company, and later on I eventually came across another company that was doing door-to-door sales. And I thought, well, I'm an expert at that, let me go do that again. So I resigned from my job, I went back to door-to-door sales, and it was an absolute disaster. I literally lost everything. I lost my car, I lost my house, lost everything that I owned basically. I was almost homeless again. But I had this never-ending pursuit of wanting to be successful, wanting to make money, wanting to build a family, wanting to buy a nice car, live in a nice house. I wanted the ideal lifestyle that every single person dreams about. You know, can you guys agree that the ideal lifestyle is what you want? You want to go on cool holidays, you want to fly in planes, you want to buy nice cars and all that types of stuff? Absolutely. And for some of us, that dream is very near, very, very close. We know we're going to achieve it, it's just a matter of time. And for some of us, it's one of those things where it'll never happen to me. Am I right? 100%. Well, let me tell you something. After I'm done with you tonight, you're going to notice that those dreams that you thought were impossible are absolutely possible. Because when I show you what Triple M has done for me in my life, for my family, for my children and my wife, in just a short space since September, is absolutely mind-blowing. If somebody had told me that I was going to achieve what I have achieved so far in the last 5 months, I probably would never have joined Triple M, because I would have thought nonsense. How many of you guys opened up the Triple M website and you saw the website and the first thing you said to yourself was, this looks like fraud. This has got to be a pyramid scheme. Absolutely, this is definitely a Ponzi scheme, right? And it took somebody to sit down with you and say to you, listen, you know what? Just do it. Right? So you did a test, $100. See how it goes. Of course you did. All right, anyway. And it was so funny. When I joined Triple M, I joined Triple M with one purpose. I want to be filthy rich. And then I went and did a program, which is a free program that you can do with Triple M to become what we call a guider. And that changed my mind completely. So in my second month of being a member, I did this guider program, and I realized that it's so much bigger, this opportunity. The opportunity to be able to change people's lives, and in exchange for changing people's lives, you just become wealthier and wealthier and wealthier. It's an absolutely beautiful system. The team has grown unbelievably. I remember 16th of September, Team Billion was me, alone. Team Billion is just under 5,000 members today. 5,000 members since the 16th of September is absolutely incredible. Wait until I tell you what the global growth of Triple M is. That'll blow your mind. So let's actually get started, and let's tell you what Triple M is about. First of all, this guy you see, Sergey Mavrodi, was the gentleman who actually started Triple M Global. Okay? Sergey Mavrodi had one dream, and his dream was to free people. Sergey Mavrodi, the smartest thing he ever did was never to take any money out of Triple M. His goal was to be able to give people freedom out of an unfair financial system. So let's discuss that for a bit. What do they mean by an unfair financial system? The chances of any one of you becoming successful in a normal world situation is virtually impossible. Because we do the same thing. We go to work, we get paid, then we go home, we eat, we wake up in the morning, we go back to work, we do it over and over and over, and then you get to an old age, and what happens? You still got nothing. That's the reality of it. The percentage of people that actually reach retirement in a comfortable state is frighteningly low. How many of you today, you don't have to raise your hands, but how many of you can answer to yourself, how many of you today are looking after your parents? Why? Because they had no choice in the situation that they landed up in. They landed up where they landed up because that is the way the world works. So Sergey Mavrodi looked at the system and said, hold on a second. Who makes all the money? Did you guys know that 219 people hold 50% of the entire world wealth? 200 people. And guess what? Out of that 219 people, 210 of them are investment bankers. So he realized that investment bankers actually control the world. Think about it like this, right? How is it possible? How is it logical that a price of bread can just go up and up? It's still the same thing, but it just gets more and more and more expensive. Because the person who owns it wants to make more and more and more money. And what does that do to you? It just keeps you where you are. Sergey Mavrodi's dream was to say, you know what? There is more than enough money in the world. People do not have to suffer the way that they suffer. People do not have to struggle to pay ridiculous school fees. People do not have to struggle to be able to feed their families. People do not have to struggle to be able to just get to work and back, to buy simple things like shoes for their children or Christmas presents. It should never be like that. Am I right? 100%. But how do you get into a position where you are able to share in the world income? You can't. You need to become a banker or it's not going to happen. You need to own a major corporation or it's not going to happen. That's the reality of it. We can hope, we can live on our dreams, because most of us, what keeps us awake every single day and what kept me awake and trying every day is the possibility that I might achieve it. And if there was that one possibility that I could achieve it, I'll just keep going. Because I'd rather die knowing that I tried than dying knowing that I thought, well, to hell, it's not for me, I won't achieve it, it's only for the bankers. Make sense? I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about Triple M. The start of Triple M, 1994. Triple M was selling tickets. You could buy and sell tickets in Russia. In 1994, when Sergey Mavrodi started the first version of Triple M, it exploded in Russia. It literally became so big and so powerful overnight that they got so big that at one stage they actually held 1/3 of the entire cash reserve of Russia was held just by Triple M. Which means if everybody that was Triple M members at that time in Russia withdrew all their money from the banks, they could collapse the banks in a day. That's how powerful they were. The media released a statement basically saying that Sergei Mavrodi was convicted of fraud and corruption. You guys heard those stories? You read about them, that he's a convicted fraudster and people lost their lives and they lost all their money. You heard that? Absolutely. Have you managed to find anybody that can testify that they did actually lose their money? No, you won't, because they don't exist. You see, what happened is when he was arrested, they created a charge and then they went and arrested him, put him in jail. While he was in court, there was over 200,000 people outside the courthouse begging for him to be released, because he was the very reason why those people could feed their children, look after their families, and live a decent life that they were supposed to. While this man was in prison, he started a poll, and from prison was elected into parliament. And then, just to spite the parliament, what he did is he refused any government benefits, refused to take any special treatment like escorted vehicles, salaries, holidays, pensions, anything like that. He refused any of those benefits. Didn't want any of it, because he didn't want to be part of a system that was completely broken and unfair to the rest of the world. So what he did is he restarted Triple M again. He restarted Triple M again in 2001 and went on national television when they were interviewing him. They asked him, "You've just come out of prison for starting Triple M again." He said, "Yes, sir. What am I doing wrong? Explain to me what I'm doing wrong." And they couldn't explain it. He says, "Yes, I'm doing Triple M again, absolutely. And I'm going to continue to do it. You can put me in a jail again and again and again and again. It doesn't matter, we'll just keep going." And they didn't arrest him, they left him. Because what they put him in jail for was nonsense in the first place. How is it possible that when he was arrested, the SWAT of the Russian Federation came in, took all the money from the building, and none of the money never reached the banks? There's a documentary called Pyramidia that you can actually watch. It'll tell you the whole story of what actually happened. Incredible story. In 2001, when they started, it was called Stock Generation X. Stock Generation X had a central bank account where people used to pay in their funds into this account, and then those funds would be distributed to members. Guess what they did? Government came in again for the second time, closed the account down, took all their funds. And that time they were a registered company, but they were registered outside of Russia. But they still managed to go and close them down again. So then Sergei Mavrodi took some time off and said, "Hold on a second. We need to figure out what is actually going wrong here." So then what he did is he created the brand new Triple M, which was launched in 2011, where Triple M was no longer a registered company, no longer a registered entity, yet Triple M now became the world's largest donation exchange network on the planet. Okay, now let me explain to you what a donation exchange network is. How many of you have ever borrowed money to a friend, family member, loved one, your kids? You've given them money. How many guys have done that? Everybody, right? It's not something to think about. Okay, so now, in other words, what I'm saying, how Triple M basically works, is Triple M is a voluntary donation exchange, which means I take my money and I give it to somebody. Is that illegal? How can that be made illegal? It can't be. Because then if it was illegal, then giving a person at the robot money would also be illegal. We recently even had a massive investigation into 9 different types of, call it schemes or whatever you want to call it, where one of them was Triple M that was investigated by the National Consumer Council. How many of you guys heard about that? Yeah, it freaked a lot of people out. I mean, people, they heard that Triple M was under investigation, almost had a heart attack. They immediately thought, right, guilty, everything is over, Triple M is done for. How many of you guys were worried when that investigation was happening? Everyone was panicking. Then Trevor Hatting of the National Consumer Council released a document saying they do not have jurisdiction over a non-registered entity and it is up to the participants what they do, and they withdrew their investigation. Game over, they can't touch us. So let's talk about what does ideology mean. Ideology is what is the things that create a Triple M? What does a Triple M mean? to civilization, to the world. Why Triple M? What is it about? We're not talking about the benefits of Triple M here. Is what is the cause? The cause of Triple M is to be able to free people from a very unfair financial system. We said in the beginning that you got 3 types of people that participate in Triple M, right? The first person is an individual. This is a person who participates on their own. They make a voluntary donation. I go and I say, okay, I've got an X amount of spare money. Let's say, for example, I got a 1,000 Rand spare money. So this person goes and they go into the system and they make an offer. I want to donate 1,000 Rand to somebody. I don't know who, just to somebody. Okay? And when I make that donation, the reason why I want to make the donation is because I receive Mavros in return. And so what are Mavros? Mavros is our internal currency, or let's say point system to keep it simple. So for each Rand we donate, we receive an equal amount of Mavros. However, the uniqueness in Mavros is Mavros grow at 30% every month. Okay? So for as long as I own those Mavros, they will continue to grow at 30% a month. Is your money growing? No, your Mavro balance is growing. You donate the money away so that you can get those Mavros. This is a donation exchange. Make sense? Okay, so let me explain one more time. I put a notice into the system that I want to donate 1,000 Rand. The system allocates me somebody to donate money to, and that person is requested to receive a donation. So I make the payment to that person, and I receive my Mavros, I keep my Mavros. Now, my Mavros is an index or an indication of how much I qualify to receive donations for. So if I did a donation today for 1,000 Rand, and I waited 2 months, I could request to receive a donation of up to 1,700 Rand. That's fair, right? So it's the same as going to Pick n Pay. You put 5 Rand in the jar, and the lady gives you a paper and says, right, you've got 5 Pick n Pay points. She writes there 5 Pick n Pay points, and she says, if you come next year, you can come take money out this tin for twice as much. Okay, same thing. Does it make sense? Okay. So a person who is participating alone, who is not sharing the Triple M opportunity with anybody, this is a person who has short-term goals. Maybe you wanted to take a short holiday. Maybe you wanted to buy a new fridge, buy a new car, change the tires on your car. You just wanted to make some extra cash. Or maybe you've got a bank loan that you're trying to pay off that you want to speed it up. This is the type of person who will donate money to another participant, receive his Mavros, keep his Mavros for long enough until such time that he's reached his goal. Then he will request to receive a donation for the amount of Mavros that he has. Okay? Very basic. Okay, cool. The second type of person we look at is a person who is who's sharing the opportunity with a couple of people. And you've noticed that every time those people you referred made a donation, you received a 10% bonus in Mavros, did you not? Absolutely. So that means if I signed this gentleman up today, what's your name? Sia, how's it, Sia? If I signed up Sia today, and Sia decided he wanted to make a donation for 1,000 Rand, he will receive 1,000 Mavros, but I will receive 100 Mavros, which is 10% of what he got. And what is so unique about that is because I received 100 Mavros, they're in Mavros, right? What happens to Mavros? They grow at 30% per month. So my referral bonuses grow at 30% per month. My own donations I made grow at 30% per month. And then it gets better. Okay. So now Sia has made his donation. 6 months later, he makes a request to receive donations, let's say for 5,000 Rand, for example. And then what they'll do is they'll say, Sia, we would like to give you a bonus. All we want you to do is record a video on your cell phone, say your name, your surname, which city you're from, the date you made the donation, and how much you received. And for that, we'll pay you a 5% bonus of the amount you received, just to say thank you for saying thank you to the people who gave you the donation. Simple as that. Which means if you received a donation for 10,000 Rand, what's your bonus? 500. If you received a donation for, let's say, 50,000 Rand, what's your bonus? 2,500. If you received a bonus for, let's say, 150,000, your bonus is 7,500. For a video? For 2 minutes? Do the video. You know what I'm saying? What a lot of people do is they do the video of happiness. We call it a letter of happiness. They do this letter of happiness, and then they withdraw the money, and then they just redonate it. You know why they're donating it? Because by donating it, they receive Mavros in return, and those Mavros grow 30% per month. Which means it's not even money that you actually got. It was a 2-minute video that you made that you could turn into something that will help you to buy a car, fix your house, achieve whatever that short-term, medium-term, long-term goal is you wanted to achieve. I learned something incredible in Triple M, and that thing is that you can change anybody's life. You can change anybody's perspective on whether they can or cannot achieve anything. The person who thought they will take a bus till they die, those people today are driving cars. Those people who thought they would never be able to see the inside of a restaurant can now do that today. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible opportunity. All right, let's talk about a manager program, right? Triple M, for those people who are super serious about helping change people's lives, okay? I'm talking here specifically about helping people change other people's lives. I'm not talking about here enriching yourself. Yes, as a manager, you will make very good money, absolutely. But I'm talking about that person who's determined to change other people's lives and help people to realize that their dreams are possible. These people we enroll into our managers program, which is an absolutely free program. It takes 10 days, 1 hour a night. You do it from home on your computer. You just register. It's absolutely free and survive the 10 days. As long as you pass, you'll be upgraded to a manager, and then everything changes for you from there. Okay. First of all, as a manager, you are now responsible to look after all those people. So some of you guys here, you know who you are. You are the guys who call me at 2 in the morning, Mfundo. Noktula. I need to be able to be their support structure. I need to be there when they're scared or they don't know what to do. When something happens and they don't know what to do. But like when Triple M is upgrading their system, which happens a lot, and the color changes on the screen, and everyone freaks out. So you become the mentor, the guider, the coach, and in some cases almost the husband and wife. Okay, that is a responsibility. So the reason why I say it like that is you must remember, when you become a guider, you are responsible for somebody else's life. When that person needs you, you need to be there for that person. When that person is counting on you, helping them reach their financial goals. That's what a guider is about. Okay? The reward for being a guider, to say thank you for helping people change lives, means you will receive a percentage of every single donation that occurs infinite levels deep below you. Every single donation. And let me tell you something, you think that you see on the board here, it says 5% level 1, 3% level 2, 1% level 3. Looks like a little bit. I mean, 1% of 1,000 Rand is not a lot, right? What you guys have done for me, I need to return that favor. Me being able to get on a plane, fly 6 people here at 12,500 Rand, sleep in a hotel for 1 night for 7,000 Rand, rent a Mercedes-Benz for another 8,000 Rand, and I have already made that money back by this morning before I even left. All right, so let's talk about pause mode. All right, so we have a number of systems that are there to protect you. Okay, so sometimes when people hear about pause mode, the first thing they do is panic. They go, oh my God, pause mode, well, this means trouble. Because you have to think for yourself at one point and realize that if deposit, withdraw, and the membership is growing and growing and growing, I mean, at some point it has to stop, right? I mean, it can't grow forever because we'll run out of people on the planet. By that time, you guys will be long retired, but nevertheless, all right? Pause mode is there to protect everybody. So let me explain to you what it means. If you look on the board, you see a green bar where it says pH. So what that is their net volume. So they take everybody that's donating money, they put all the money together and say, how much does this equal? Let's say, for example, that amount equals 1 million Rand. 1 million, okay? And then they look at the orange bar and they go, well, all the people requesting to receive donations, how much does that equal? Now, as long as the people requesting donations remains below the amount of deposits, the system is fine. Does that make sense? Now, there's 2 things that keep the system safe. One is new members that are making offers to donate, and then existing members that are redepositing. Does that make sense? So we have a habit that if we receive a donation, we make another donation. We receive a donation, we make another donation. That's how it works. Does that make sense? 100%. So other people have different strategies. Some people like to keep their accounts happy. I do both. All right, so when I say, I mean, you keep your account empty so that it doesn't grow too much. And the second thing is doing redeposits. Does that make sense? Very beautiful system. So what a pause mode basically means is that if the amount of the people that are requesting to receive donations, that amount gets too high. In other words, it's about to overtake the amount of deposits. What they do is they engage what they call a pause mode. So now what a pause mode basically does, it pauses the deposits for a short period of time, which has happened twice in history. With what they do is once for a week and once for 2 weeks. Okay? So the deposits stop, it allows people to redeposit, grow back into a safe zone, and then they continue. So that sounds quite scary, right? But did you know if every one of you went to F&B tomorrow and closed your accounts, the bank would be done for? It's the same thing. If everyone in Triple M decided, right, I'm drawing all my money, well, that will be the end of it. Exactly the same as a bank. Same principle. So all we do is we have a computer system, your Triple M back office or program, that actually manages the security and the longevity of Triple M. So we have to ask sometimes, some people always ask me, so Byron, I understand donate, receive Mavros, how Mavros grow, but I can't seem to understand why is it 30%? Why? How is it possible? What are they investing in? Gold, diamonds, jewelry, what? Well, there is no investment. The Triple M system is built on two factors. One, new members that are making donations. And number two, existing members that are redonating. Does that make sense? And as long as that value continues to grow at 30% every month, then paying out 30% is a no-brainer. Simple. Make sense? 100%. All right. So, what has our growth been? In February 18th, 2015, the very first person in South Africa decided to join Triple M, Mr. Vusi Mlambo. Mr. Vusi Mlambo took a leap of faith. He spoke to someone in Philippines by the name of Leonessa Perez and said, right, I'm doing it. February 18th, 2015. One man was brave enough to try something for the first time that was never tried in this country. How many members are we today, guys? We have just recently passed 500,000 members in South Africa. Do you know a day, currently, there is almost 250,000 people every day around the world joining Triple M. Now, the only reason that would happen is, number one, it doesn't cost you anything to join. Number two, if you really can't offer anything as a donation, you can still do Triple M. You can still make referral bonuses. There is no ways a person can't do Triple M. Because Triple M's purpose is not for Triple M to make money, because Triple M is a computer program, it doesn't make money. The purpose of Triple M is to free people. Okay, so now let's talk a bit about the system, how the system basically works. Triple M has rules. And for you to be part of this community, you need to abide by these rules. So when a person makes an offer to make a donation, you are making a voluntary offer to provide help to another participant with spare money that you already have. So when you make that offer to make that donation, anywhere from 5 days, 10 days, 20 days, the system will call upon you to pay that donation. And you will receive a ticket that looks exactly like that one over there. You guys see that? And on this ticket, there's something very significant here. It's got a timer on it. There it says 71 hours. So from the time you receive this order to pay this person, it'll have your name on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side will have the name of the person you need to pay. You click on it, it'll show you his banking details, you log on, you do an internet payment, you can go to the bank, you can do a cash deposit. Some people want to talk to them first, God knows why. You get some members that they click on it and they want to talk and just like, I don't know what you want to say to the person, like how are you doing or what. As long as I've done my part, I've made my donation, I've uploaded my proof of payment, and I've written a letter to him in the message box, whether the person you paid is going to confirm it or not is immaterial, because it will get confirmed by our CRO. So what is a CRO? CRO is like our cops. We have very high profile members in the system that are from other countries. So we are serviced by Philippines, So the Philippines team of support looks at these orders and they execute these orders for us. And they look at people that are trying to do dodgy stuff. Like what happens if somebody uploads a blank page? The system thinks you've paid, right? You just contact there, write a message. Hey my man, you've uploaded a blank page. The CRO will close the other person's account and then reissue a new order to you. Beautiful system, super organized. But what we always say in our system is very basic. Stick to the rules and don't panic. Because sometimes a person will click on the ticket and they see, for example, what happens if the account number is wrong? Happens, definitely. So what do you do in that case? You write a message in the message box, write to support, contact your manager, we sort it out. We have everything organized, very basic system. But if you look at the timer on the system, the timer gives you 72 hours to execute the order. So what that means is you offered to make a donation. When the time comes that you need to make that donation, you simply click on the ticket and you need to pay this order within 72 hours and then attach the proof of payment before that timer runs out. Once the timer runs out, they close your account. Make sense? So you think, yo, that's a bit unfair. Right? They just close your account, deleted, thank you for coming. We're not interested in you being a member of Triple M. You have to consider something. The donation you are making is to somebody who's requesting to receive a donation, which could be you. When you want to receive your donation, you don't want stories, right? Because it was very easy for you to pay. But now when you want to get paid, we do not allow people to participate in our system that are making promises that they can't keep. And that's why Triple M is a beautiful system. Right, this was what got me very excited about Triple M, is the fact that I can see my Mavros growing before I've even paid for them. So when I make an offer to make a donation today of 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 or whatever it is, your Mavros start growing from the day you make the offer, not from the time you pay it. That is very significant. So in other words, if I made an offer to pay a donation for 1,000 Rand, and let's say 30 days went by, and on the 30th day I paid the donation, when I go and I click on available for withdraw, I have the very next day 1,300 Rand available for withdrawal. So I can click on get help and immediately withdraw and empty my account out for 1,300. Or you could leave it for a month longer and draw 1,700. Or you could leave it to the end of the year and maybe draw 23,000. It's up to you. It's that simple. How much does it cost? There is no joining fee. It doesn't cost anything to be a member. In fact, if you do not have any money at all, we can teach you how to earn referral bonuses and we can show you how to change your life. That to me is a fair system. How many of you can agree with me that's a fair system? Absolutely. All right, so let's get to the interesting stuff, right? The first thing I'm going to show you is something what we call our happiness calculator. So what we're going to do, we're going to do it like an exercise, okay? You shout out an amount that you're comfortable with to start off with, and we're going to look at what is the growth percentage and how it actually grows, right? Okay, cool. So you guys can give me a number there, and then we can punch it in here and see what the calculator says. Go ahead. 1,000 Rand. Thank you for that. All right, so 1,000 Rand in 30 days, it shows you on the calculator, 1,000 Rand will be worth 1,300 after 30 days. That's from the day you make the offer. And at 6 months will be worth 4,800. And at 12 months, 23,300. Now you're not paying every day or once a month. You donated once 1,000 Rand. Imagine how different your Christmas would have been this past Christmas if a year prior to that you made a donation of 1,000 and you waited. You'd have had an extra 23,000 Rand for Christmas. What would have been different for your Christmas if you did that? Make sense? 22 grand extra, right? Give me a different number, guys. 5,000, right. All right, cool stuff. So 5,000 a month later is 6,500. At month 6, 24,200. And at month 12, 117,000. I came here because if I could get myself into a position by sharing this opportunity with people, that means there's not any one of you here that cannot do the same. That means every single one of you here, if you absolutely work tirelessly, day in and day out, and dedicate as much of your time that you can manage to stay awake to helping people change their lives, 6 months from today will be absolutely different. Absolutely different from what the picture you're looking at right now. Some of you are going to go home now, get in a taxi, drive home. I mean, sit at the back and go home. Some of you are going to get in your cars. Some of you are going to go back to hotels. Where do you want to go back to? And all it takes is for you to go to somebody and say to somebody, have you heard about Triple M? The decision for me to join Triple M was the best decision I ever made. For myself, for my family, I could never have made a better decision.